when something is too genuine, unvarnished, or honest for the Who's powers. Beginnings of a career and ascent to fame. Country folk musician Oliver Anthony, whose real name is Christopher Anthony Lunsford, has emerged as one of just a few months, one of the most well-known voices in American music. He gave the name himself, Oliver Anthony, in his grandfather's and the struggling Depression generation's honor, connecting his incorporating music into stories about common struggles. Anthony began penning songs in 2021 and was publishing songs by 2022, as music by Oliver Anthony. Hank and other greats serve as inspiration for his tunes. Williams, combining traditional rural storytelling with unrestrained personalities. Listeners were immediately captivated by Anthony's early work. He said that he received calls from folks who said his music helped them get through difficult times. For him, this critic imbued his work with true meaning. Anthony battled mental illness and alcohol abuse for 5 years. He experienced an emotional breakthrough in July 2023. He promised God that if he could make music a reality, he would get clean. Approximately 1 month he gained his breakthrough when radio from West Virginia asked him to record a song for their YouTube channel, Rich Men North of Richmond. His first hit. Anthony started doing live performances, in an honest, straightforward manner. On the 13th of August 2023, he gave a free performance at a farmer's market in Buckco, North Carolina, starting Jinkler's passages about evildoers from Psalm 37. Jaime Johnson, a country singer, joined him as an unexpected visitor. His songs swiftly started to rise in the charts. 6 of Highseve Got to Get Sober peaked at number 3, and other tracks were among the top 20 on iTunes. Another song, Ain't Got a Dollar, emphasizes self-reliance without spending money, topped Spotify's list of the 50 most viral songs. Fans were incredibly moved by his straightforward, unvarnished narrative. The popular hit by Anoni, Rich Men North of Richmond, uploaded on August 8, 2023. On YouTube, fans responded favorably to the song's gritty critique of the government, taxation, and economic hardship. It went viral very immediately, supported by individuals like Joe Rogan, John Rich, and others, becoming the #1 song on Apple Music, Spotify, and iTunes in a matter of days. Jason Meyers, the Attorney General of Virginia, even called him unreal talent in Virginia. It's incredible that Anthony accomplished all of this with minimal radio exposure, hitting the 45th spot on the country airplay charts. Not until some of them did listen to his music. In the face of significant industry attention, multi-million-dollar recording contracts the young man strode, Anthony turned down amazing offers, Monster stating that he was still dedicated to his music through stadia performances and tours, and values. On his property, he continued to record songs and release videos like Ith Post, Want to Go Home, and 90-some Chevy. Received millions of views in a matter of days. Anthony's voice is gritty and gruff, and he plays the resonator guitar, strong twang. Critics describe him as having a genuine and piercing approach, a voice that sounds authentic and unpolished in a field that is much too frequently dominated by a fake finish. Hymnal of a Man. His debut album was released in March 2024. He established himself as a unique voice in country music with troubled man's mind, and reaching milestones that are rarely seen by newbies. Even without the assistance of conventional radio broadcasting, his private life, Oliver Anthony and was born in the Piedmont area of Virginia and now resides in Farmville along with his spouse and 2 children. As of August 2023, the family occupied a tiny. Anthony claimed to have a $750 camper on an Ithaca off-the-grid property where he will be living off the grid and raising livestock. This modest lifestyle is proof to his desire to be grounded and genuine, while being shielded from the occasionally oppressive glare of the realm of music. His surroundings and experiences in real life have undoubtedly influenced his music, affording it a rustic and immediately recognized tone. Anani's childhood was anything from simple. Additionally, at the age of 17, she left school in 2010 but eventually earned a GED, proving that he was prepared to persevere through hardship but was not prepared to give up on his studies. He had a number of industrial positions in Virginia and North Carolina. He was given a severe head injury at a paper mill injury that fractured his skull in 2013. This injury prevented him from working. It was the darkest period of his life, lasting about 6 months. From 2014 to he performed outside sales work for manufacturing companies in 2023, visiting factories and construction sites, giving him direct knowledge of the blue-collar hardships that would subsequently be a recurring theme in his compositions. Politically, Anthony's impartial. He claimed in a video from August 2023 that I sit pretty dead center down the aisle on. Nevertheless, he was worried about how other people felt about politics and always had made an effort to politicize his writing. He said that the right tended to try to claim him as part of their ranks, while the left tended to resist him, attempting to undermine his messages. Anthony has expressed his annoyance with this, stating that the politicization of his music must end. He wishes for high songs to mean something to people on their own terms, not due to political agenda or affiliation. Anthony attended the Alliance for Responsible Citizenship conference in February 2025, an international conservative organization associated with psychologist and commentator Jordan Peterson. He performed at the event and made a speech that revolved around religious topics, how social media influences contemporary life, and his activism to restore rural America. His speech emphasized his mission beyond music, demonstrating that he considers himself a voice for the marginalized to commission and desires to contribute positively to society. Through it all, Anthony's life is one of commitment to honesty, hard work, and staying humble. From being raised in Virginia to having industrial jobs, overcoming a near-fatal injury, raising a family homesteading, and speaking out against social issues. His life has informed his worldview and his music. These are his own personal experiences that create his music such that it speaks deeply to listeners who realize he is not only a musician but living out the values and struggles he sings, which creates a deeper connection than charts and viral status. The meaning behind Scornful Woman. In 2025, Oliver Anthony came out with a track called Scornful Woman, released June 4th, that many listeners and media sources believe alludes to a serious conflict, perhaps even breakup, within his marriage. The lyrics suggest bitterness, courtroom splits, and the emotional toll of relationships where trust has been broken. During a single interview, Anthony revealed that before writing Scornful Woman, he experienced a low moment. He explained that he had spent long periods of time locked away at home, barely talking to people. He explained how he suspended many personal and social routines. He missed Thanksgiving and Christmas that year, and felt himself spiraling. At that point, he adds, collaborators approached it. Billy Contreras, Draven Riff, Joey Davis, and the three of them co-wrote a song. The words of Scornful Woman say lines such as, and the court says 50-50, but the math don't seem right, which pretty clearly indicate that he is singing about a division in court or a divorce. Additionally, he sings, "She can have all the money and they can keep all the fame. I'd go back to being broke if I could just get a break from the pain." Those words have caused many to believe that he is struggling with emotional heartbreak and monetary disagreements. Related to his fortune, though, it should be remembered that Anthony himself never officially and directly affirmed outright that Scornful Woman is a song about his wife or a concluded divorce. The media as well as his fans are putting inferences upon his songs, interviews, and the timing of his personal occurrences. The response to the song has been overwhelming. The song struck a chord with fans who could perceive sheer emotion and vulnerability that had gone into the performance. A few some perceive it as a break from his earlier work that had a social and political tone to more intimate and contemplative labor. His fortune. Oliver Anthony has had a remarkable journey to stardom and money. As of 2025, his net worth is estimated between $1.5 million and $3 million, a testament of his fast ascent to popularity in the music business. Anthony's financial prosperity started with the independent release of Rich Men North of Richmond in August 2023. That track took off on sites such as YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify, propelling him into attention and large earnings, according to reports. At the height of the song's popularity, he was collecting over $40,000 per day, even after having turned down a record deal at $8 million. In addition to streaming income, Anansi live concerts and souvenirs also helped fortune. His travels have been extremely successful, with his performances regularly selling out, which increases enormous earnings. In addition, items associated with his image, like an extremely lucrative source of income, is provided by apparel and memorabilia. By 2024, the estimated average yearly income was between $851,000 and as well as $1.12 million from all revenue sources. Despite his sudden wealth, Anthony now leads a modest existence. He shares a $750 home with his family. Camper on a 90-acre off-Taggart farm in Virginia where he hopes to reside. This demonstrates his desire to lead a modest life and avoid the comforts of celebrity. To sum up, Oliver Anthony's fame stems from his virile achievement, thoughtful job choices, and a variety of revenue streams. His rapid rise to prominence is reflected in his projected net worth of $1.5 million to $3 million music industry, as well as the fact that he has managed to use his gift while leading a modest existence. The debate and criticism of the music industry. January 2024, Oliver Anthony published a 15-minute video with the topic, Learnings from the Music Industry, on his YouTube account so far. He talked about his own experiences in this video and insights into the music business, providing fans with an intimate glimpse into the industry's backroom operations. Anthony shared a story about a visit he had in the VLOG. Attended a performance by him at the Nameless Music Festival in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this past summertime. He reported seeing a performer use 6 auto-tune modulators on a stage pedal board to help with vocal pitch. This narrative produced intrigue and conjecture among fans and analysts who believed the event might be the Carolina country Parker McCollum, who had performed right after Anthony, might have been the unnamed musician at MusicFest. In response, McCollum called the story a fabrication. An testimony raised his concerns about the validity of live performances in the well-known music business. He expressed discomfort with the use of drum loops and backing tracks, emphasizing that crowds are misled into believing they are witnessing a genuine live performance by such conduct. It would feel, he said, He is being dishonest by purchasing a ticket to see a performance that is not in time. The fear that Anoni's comments produced emphasized the current dispute over live performances' authenticity. While fans and artists provide support technique of enhancing live performances with technology, there are others like Anthony who advocates for a return to unadulterated, unpolished performances where music is more important than technical inputs. This incident also brought attention to the demands and expectations that are placed on performers in the field. Anoni's decision to come forward is a manifestation of a growing number of artists who feel compelled to disregard industry conventions and fight for genuineness in their work. In conclusion, Oliver Anoni's vlog served as the catalyst for a larger debate concerning the nature of live music shows and how technology influences audience experiences. His choice to discuss these topics openly has struck a chord with numerous others who agree with him about the future direction of the music industry. Dispute with venue over ticket prices. Oliver Anthony generated buzz in September 2023 when he canceled an upcoming show at Cotton Eye Joe, a well-known Knoxville, Tennessee venue. Why he was angered by the hefty ticket prices being charged for the show. Tickets were set at $99 with VIP meet and greet tickets costing $200. Anthony took issue with these charges as too exorbitant for his supporters and utilized social media to voice his worries. Anthony asked his supporters not to buy tickets at such pricing in a video he uploaded on Instagram. He made a point to remark that his performances were planned to be within reach and he did not have anything to do with fixing ticket prices. He said that a friend who was a plumber by profession had made the booking on his behalf without discussing the pricing with him. Anthony said, "Ultimately, it's my fault for not being more directly connected with the places who have sought out, even with the venue seeking to clarify that the high ticket costs were utilized to pay the $120,000, although Anthony was reportedly demanding for a 60-minute show. The situation. Cotton Eye Joe cancelled the concert, saying, "We are cancelling the Oliver Anthony concert under our full control." They also voiced unhappiness over the event, noting, "It's a darn shame what the world's gone to for the patrons of the world-famous Cotton Eye Joe." The cancellation gendered debate among the music community. Some believed Anthony had good reason to demand cheap tickets, while others believed that what he was doing was wrong. The artist Paul Kawan openly disapproved of Anthony's behavior. Kawan claims that Anthony's cancelling damaged industrial connections performances as a result of price disputes. He added that the acts had a detrimental impact on small companies and the music industry as a whole. Following the incident, Anthony lamented the event. He acknowledged that the incident may have been avoided with better communication and pledged to be more involved in future engagements to shield his supporters from the negative effects of cost. While the incident highlighted the challenges artists face in juggling their values and commercial requirements, it also underlined the necessity of openness and dialogue inside the music business. Anti-Semitic accusations. Country music performer Oliver Anthony was charged in August 2023 with disseminating anti-Semitic 9/11 conspiracy theories. The dispute started after a playlist called Videos that his YouTube page, Make Your Noggin Bigger, was found. This playlist included footage of the so-called dancing Israelis, a word used to describe conspiratorial activity, utilized to show that Israeli intelligence officers were aware of the 9/11 events. These hypotheses have been completely debunked and labeled anti-Semitic by organizations like the ADL and the Anti-Defamation League. When this playlist was made public, there was a backlash, with some people saying Anthony for having racist beliefs. The ADL opposed spreading such conspiracy theories, claiming they use anti-Semitic tropes about Jewish people are manipulating global events for their own ends, and an exposure to such materials raised concerns about his viewpoint and the impact that his music might have. In response to the criticism, Anthony released a video declaration that addresses the issue. He apologized and clarified that he did not endorse the conspiracy ideas for causing harm. However, the incident made clear the challenges prominent people face when it comes to their internet reputation as well as the material they are linked to. This dispute helped create the debate around wealthy men north of Richmond that has persisted ever since. Despite the fact that many fans value their song for its criticism of government policies and economic inequality, while others perceived it as polarizing and Anani's attempt to stay out of politics was difficult. When conservative leaders adopted the song and began using it in political contexts, such as at a Republican presidential debate, the accusations of anti-Semitism further tainted Anthony's reputation. A few admirers supported him, but others chastised his associations and the ideas he conveyed. Online and through his songs. Presence. The circumstance serves as a reminder of the subtleties that artists face in today's digital age, where material found online can have significant real-world repercussions. All things considered, the accusations against Oliver Anthony emphasize the necessity of challenging the information that individuals spread and its potential consequences. While Anoni's music continues to be controversy surrounding his playlist and the ensuing backlash serve as a reminder to Manias of the ongoing challenges presented by accountability and public opinion in the era of digitalization. Feedback from other artists. In Paul Kawan, a country music performer, publicly criticized a fellow musician in December 2024, Oliver Anthony, for his actions and statements in the music business. Kawan's severe criticism followed Anthony's vlog, which included vehement charges about incidents in the industry as well as other artists. Kawan thought Anani's comments were damaging and Anani's choice was one of the main points of contention. Will postpone a performance at Knoxville, Tennessee's Cotton Joe due to high ticket costs. Anthony had expressed his worries about the $100 ticket costs were out of his fans' price range. However, Kawan said that Anthony's action hurt local venues and companies who rely on the sale of tickets to cover their performance costs. He said that despite receiving a $100,000 performance fee, Anthony chose not to perform, left the location in a precarious financial position. Kawan emphasized that such actions could have serious negative effects on the music industry. Kawan's response also addressed Anani's accusations against other entertainers for different problems, like using autotune on stage. Kawan had a feeling Anthony was unjustly disparaging fellow performers in the absence of convincing proof. He believed that such blatant charges could disparage other artists and create needless divisions within the business. Kawan's grievance wasn't always not only against Anani's behavior, but also against the way that Anani's style has affected the music industry as a whole. He said that Anani's words and deeds were fostering a hostile atmosphere and, perhaps, damaging connections in the music industry. Kawan believed that understanding and respect for one another between professionals and artists were essential. Quitting the music business. In October 2024, country music performer Oliver Anthony announced his intention to leave Thito, pursue a project known as the Rural Revival Project in the mainstream music industry. He mentioned his disappointment with the way the sector is regulated and overseen, with a focus on grassroots marketing support for rural America.